welcome to another episode of the Monkeyscrolls podcast. This week we're talking about the movie Girl on the Third Floor. I'm Joseph Gehring.
I'm Kiefer Moore.
And I'm Caleb.
And this week's film, I don't think you can call it a film, was suggested to us.
Art.
Was suggested by our own Caleb Jones. And we definitely, I think, all have some thoughts on it. I hope we do. I want to get all of my thoughts out of my head so I can forget this film forever.
Some therapy here.
I think I know where this is going. And let me just start by saying this movie was straight up not that bad. It wasn't good at all, but it wasn't that bad.
What?
Yeah, like it wasn't good at all, but it wasn't that bad. Like, sure, the first scene in the movie is like a dog eating a pile of cum.
Yeah, full on. The first scene in the movie is a dog eating a pile of cum that comes out of the walls.
Dude, every time it came out of the electrical sockets, like right at the beginning of the movie, like what would you say? Like 5 minutes in, there's an electrical socket oozing cum, and he just wipes it with his hand.
Yeah, just full on. And it's just a continuing thing. Anytime it's leaking out of something, he wipes it with his hand. Like, okay, the first time you're like, what the fuck's this? That's weird. But like time 300, you're not just like, maybe I won't touch it this time.
I'm just like, if anything's coming out of an electrical socket, I'm not putting a cord in there.
Well, yeah, that's usually like rule number one of things don't come out of electrical sockets, you know? So maybe I shouldn't, maybe whatever's coming out and what I'm putting in don't go together.
Yeah. But I didn't like this movie, but like watching it wasn't a fucking cumbersome task. It was just like an hour and a half of my life started and went away.
That's definitely like the saving grace of this is it's only in an hour and a half, you know? So I didn't feel like I wasted a huge chunk of my day watching this.
Like it's definitely in the never rewatch, don't recommend unless you don't like somebody category. But I don't think it was like the worst thing that's ever been done to me.
Yeah, that's true. I could. So I'll never watch it again. But I didn't hate myself for watching it.
Yeah.
I would tell people to watch it once, but I can't recommend it.
Yeah, we're not even.
It had a couple cool parts.
Let's talk about the movie a little bit before we get into our recommendation here, because
yeah, of course.
I mean, there's not a whole lot really going on. The movie takes place in a house for the most part.
A spooky house.
And outside of the house for like one scene. Other than, I mean, like they sit on the porch, I guess, twice. But your main thing is they're in this old house, which is like, it's like an old house from the 1800s. The fucking settlers built it or some bullshit.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's be clear here. Who's in that house? None other than Phil CM Punk Brooks as your main guy.
Yeah, we got
delivers a stunning 4 out of 10 performance.
Oh yeah, let's. We got Phil Brooks.
Parts of the movie where he has a couple emotions.
Yeah.
Well, so his performance was whatever, and he wasn't really selling the whole handyman thing very well, and he has this ominous bad guy pass.
Yeah, they like,
never really elaborate on that, but he also sees himself as this handyman.
Yeah,
and it's really highlighted by the scene where he's under the sink with a hammer, hitting a pipe, and I just, I don't know what we were supposed to think. I don't know if we were supposed to.
That's how you fix pipes.
Well,
not just that, but were we supposed to think he was a handyman and the house is just out of control, or is he just inept at everything?
Well, I think we're supposed to get he's inept because, there's when his friend comes over and he's like, these are all the tools. He's just like, these are all the tools you have. You know, you need more to renovate a house. And he goes, you do?
I mean, I agree, but like, dude, he got that drywall looking,
I mean, yeah,
kind
solid
of
drywall hanging. I don't
cut
know.
it out. It fit right. There's some bubbles that came out, but I think that's because the house was haunted,
Yeah.
not because he did a bad job.
So
He got that drywall looking kind of nice.
let's give a little. Let me give a little rundown about what the movie is, because we kind of just jumped into it and we're like, this movie is hot trash.
Okay, yeah.
Because the movie is this man, a man with a shady past, purchases in some old house out in the suburbs, and is intending to renovate it. And as he's doing that, things are not what it seems with the house. It's, spooky. It has cum dripping out of the walls.
Literal cum.
Literal cum, like literal, like semen coming out of the walls. And
we're not saying it looks like it. He finds a pile of it with a condom in it.
yeah,
It comes out the shower. That's actually what it is.
yeah, it is semen full on. They're like, the one of the first things he shows up to the house and he's like, oh, let me fix, there's like weird shit coming out of the fucking electrical sockets. And then like his neighbor comes over and she's like, be careful in this house, something's up with it. And he's just like, yeah, yeah, it's kind of weird, I don't know, stuff's coming out of the walls. But she's like super ominous about it, and he just ignores her basically.
Okay, so I know that we didn't even really finish the rundown of the movie, but let's just talk about the giant pile of cum. Okay, so like, I'm pretty sure cum dries quick as fuck. So like, when you show up to a new house that you just bought and there's a pile of cum the size of like, what? It was like 2 feet wide in diameter, right?
It was a lot of cum.
2-3 feet wide. And like, it's got a condom in it. It's fucking frothing and wet, and like, he just like, I better clean this up with some fucking ShamWows. Like, you don't think, why is there a fresh fucking hot batch of nut in my floor, dude? Like, how do you not like call the realtor and be like, what the fuck you been doing in here before I came?
Oh, like straight up every decision he makes. Like every decision he makes is bad. It's the wrong call.
So me and Linda did cue in on something. So just so you guys know, he moves into the house or whatever, and then he's like, okay, I better check it out. It's haunted. It's haunted by like some chick who's like, I wear skimpy clothing. You want to do stuff? And then he's like, well, I better do stuff. And then like they do stuff, and then that's the wrong choice because the house is testing you. Because like they're across the street from a church, and the whole moral of the movie is, you choose to be a good church boy, you choose to hang out with the whores in the whorehouse. Because I guess the house used to be a whorehouse, and there's a little girl in the whorehouse. Everyone's fucking. Little girl's traumatized. Dude with a beak like kills her or something. And now it's haunted. And now there's a prostitute and a weird alien girl in the house.
Slow down for 1 second.
Yeah.
Because that's a summary, but it doesn't explain. Like, it kind of shows that. When it shows that it's the whorehouse, it's just all of a sudden this guy's wife comes to surprise him, and
oh yeah, the wife comes, and that's how we find out it's a whorehouse.
Yeah, she's like transported in time all of a sudden, but
no questions. She's just like, what are you guys doing in there?
Yeah, she's like, everyone get out of my house.
And then, so yeah, keep going. We're not done.
Yeah. So then the wife shows up. It's like, where's my goddamn husband? Because then the fucking ghost girl's fucking everybody up. The husband had little balls in his eyes. I'm not giving specifics, just a summary for you guys. Wife beats the shit out of the monster girl, finds the monster girl's body, buries it in the church. They're all good. She lives in the house and stays there, which I wouldn't fucking stay there if a girl with teeth in her fucking head came out of the wall. But I guess you could stay there if you want. Has her baby, and then you see little marbles, which was a theme for the whole movie, coming out of the ceiling. You look up, and then Phil Brooks is in there, and he's like, that's my girl. So, like, that's the summary of the movie, because we keep skipping over that. But me and Linda did cue in on something. So, the fact that he used to be a crime lord or a shady guy or stole people's retirements or whatever the fuck they let you know he did, is a precursor for him to make these bad decisions. Like a crime boss would see like a hot chick and be like, oh, I'll do whatever the fuck I want. And then, immediately hit a girl in the back of the head with a hammer 10 seconds after she annoys him.
I
So
mean,
like
I don't think
there's
there was
there
much.
there are character excuses for him to make the bad decisions so fast.
Well, yeah, I mean, one of the first things his wife says when we like see her in person, she's talking to the neighbor, who again is warning her like things are wrong with this house. She even says like my husband is a fuck up.
Yeah.
Like there's no cluing in needed because they straight up come out and say, uh, Don, the main character, is a fuck up. He's fucked up. He's cheated on her. He's made bad business decisions and lost most of his friends. And really, buying this old house is just another one of his bad decisions in life. And continuing to try and make it better. You can maybe see that as not even just because the house is spooky because it used to be a whorehouse, so that's why cum falls out of the walls, but like him trying to buy this old house and fix it up is some type of like, oh, I'm gonna try and fix things with my wife because I fucked up.
Yeah, they're not. They hit you on the nose with that
Yeah.
because the pasture lady's like, "Hey, how's your marriage?" And then she doesn't answer. She's like, "It's good." And then it's like, "How's the house?" And it's like, it needs a lot of work, and it's we're just doing our best. And we're fucking trying, man." And it's just like, okay, the house allegory relationship, like they put it all out in the open in that scene. They're like, he's a fuck up. It tests the character of a man.
Yeah.
How's the house? And it's like, I can't do it. So it's like,
and the house, it's clearly a test, right? The church versus the whorehouse.
Yeah.
yeah,
And they're testing the guy, right? And the
Yeah.
guy chooses wrong. He chooses wrong, and they decide that cheating on the wife and making bad choices, that's enough to like shove marbles under your skin and torture you and kill all your friends. But
dude, what did Milo do?
that's what I was gonna say. So one guy comes over and does nothing wrong, is actually a stand-up guy. He's helping his friend.
Uh-huh.
He tells him cheating is wrong. And what did his wife do? What what was the test there? The house is just killing wantonly.
Yeah.
Except for the guy who it decides deserves to die. Why? Why did everyone else die?
Well,
What
I
was the
mean,
point of testing the guy if it's just gonna kill randomly? That's where the movie kind of
the
felt
the
really
movie
weak.
the movie falls apart in a lot of places. It's like they had a real like they had like three ideas what they wanted to do. It's like, okay, we know what we want to do for a beginning, and here's the middle, and here's the end. But there was no like thread through the whole thing. Like, how do we tie this together? It just kind of happens, and it's just like, and now it's the 1800s and it's a whorehouse and we're looking down on
Yeah.
them fucking, and you're like, wait, what?
See, the movie could have worked for me if the house stood as like a morality test and was gonna kill or let people live depending on if they're good or bad. Like if a good, nice family moved in with no sin and no issues, and they could actually live there peacefully because they are not bad people, that'd be cool. But the house actually just kills
And they said
whoever.
that the priest said that. It's like, I've seen families live there for years with no problems, and I've seen somebody never make it a home. And
Yeah.
it's like that
But
would have been cool if it held up, but like
exactly.
even if it's testing couples and it's like, okay, the wife goes in and fights over this and needs to stop fighting and get over, Phil CM Punk Brooks, that's fine. If she's part of the test, I guess, because it's a relationship tester. But Milo literally showed up and like helped fix the ceiling and paint a wall, and then that girl's in there and he's like, "Hey man, it's his house. You gotta dip." So the girl's just like, "I'll thwack you in the fucking head with a hammer."
Like the house straight up kills him and cuts his head off, and it does the same thing to the fucking dog. Like, what'd the dog
Yeah,
do?
yeah. The house fucking cuts a dog up and puts it in a dryer.
So
That was hard to see as well. I don't mean like hard to see because it's like a difficult thing to watch. It was really dark, and I was just like, is that whole ass dog in the dryer? Because it just looked like a blanket.
Yeah, I didn't get a full view of the dog, other than when the dryer stopped, you could see the face and the teeth, and that was pretty brutal. But It wasn't exactly clear, but I'm pretty sure he was chopped up.
Yeah, I got it was just the dog's head. That's what it looked like to me. Um, yeah,
All right, there's one scene before we continue. It's just fresh to my mind. Sorry. I want to know if you guys can tell me why he eats a marble.
I can't figure that for the life of me. That fucked me up.
Okay, so
I
it was
He's just like bloop.
yeah, I can't. It just happens. Like it's not even like a like his eyes don't glaze over or something like he's being controlled by some supernatural force. He just picks the marble up and eats it.
Does it?
okay.
Is yeah? Is it Was it supposed to be now like the house has its tendrils in him kind of thing? Like that's what I was thinking. Like he made the bad choice and like fucking smoked weed and had sex with this girl. Mind you, he's smoking weed and drinking this whole movie. And he has the words drug free tattooed on his knuckles and straight edge tattooed on his stomach that just are completely obvious. Um, but other than that,
Well, that's just a different thing with uh, Phil CM Punk Brooks because he's
yeah, but you
full of
could
tattoos.
there's movie makeup. Like there's a scene where he's sitting there after on the porch with the lady, and it just says drug free on his knuckles, and he has a whiskey in his hand. It's
Yeah,
like, but
okay,
either way,
so
yeah,
there's
either
movie
way, that's
makeup,
yeah,
but this movie didn't have the budget for that. So
okay. But other than that, they're just hoping it blend in. It's like nobody can
yeah,
read.
no
The
one
people
knows
who
how to
watch this
read.
movie can't read.
Yeah, they're all wrestling
Uh,
fans.
yeah, but you know, there's the idea that the house got its tendrils in him, and like he made the bad choice, so now he took in the bad part of the house and ate the marble. But you have to dig and reach for that and make it up yourself instead of have it make sense.
Yeah,
That's not yeah,
the movie kind
that's
of
just what I
wants.
thought, but yeah, it doesn't tell you that.
Yeah, the movie seems to want you to find the subtleties that really aren't there. You know,
Yeah.
and because for the most part everything is on the nose, and then there's just weird things that happen that never like okay, I get it's a whorehouse or was a whorehouse and all that, and like some weird fucking sketchy 1800s sex shit happen in there, but why is there cum coming out of the walls?
Because it's a whorehouse and the guys come all over the house. There's a lot of
So
things that I don't know why. Why is coming out of the walls? Why does the little tormented girl manifest herself as a Beetlejuice looking
Yeah, like
two-faced?
why are her teeth all fucked up when they show her in the flashback scene? She's just a normal little girl.
I don't.
yeah.
Like she
There's
wasn't
a lot of.
deformed. She didn't look like fucking Jason or anything.
So so is the room that he slept in the room that he found the cum in at the beginning? I think it is.
Yeah,
And
I think so.
if you think about it, um, those barriers up top where everybody's watching from is total fucking tug station, dude. So like those guys are
Tug
probably
station.
sitting up there. Those guys are probably sitting up there fucking tugging the day away, bro, and just nutting into the middle of the floor.
Yeah, I think that was. I think that's the what they were trying to imply was
Yeah.
happening,
Yeah,
and
dude,
that
that was
still
fuck.
happens. The ghosts are still,
They're still up there tugging away, dude.
right onto the floor.
Um. So normally for the movies we watch or we've been watching, I like to pull up the Wikipedia when we talk about them.
Uh huh.
And this one, it has the plot of the movie and your cast, which is pretty standard. But like nothing else. Like the director, he doesn't have a Wikipedia page. He hasn't done like anything else apparently.
Excuse me, the score was done by Steve Albini of the band Shellac.
Actually, okay, that's one thing I will say. If we want to talk about that, I liked the soundtrack because it had a lot of kind of rock metal punk
I think
stuff.
CM Punk must have had some influence in that too, because like the first band when he puts his headphones in sounds like something he'd come out to at WrestleMania.
Yeah, like it wasn't bad music. It felt misplaced other than like this is he puts it on his but like he puts on his fucking 8-track player and listens to this or whatever. But sometimes it was just the music happens and you're like, what is this? Like what's happening? Um the director has apparently done nothing. I had to look him up on Google, and what showed up was a jujitsu guy. who also.
Oh yeah, same thing to me.
So I eventually had to find my way onto IMDb, and this guy's produced a few other movies, and it says he owns a production company, but as for directing or taking part in any good movies, he's at zilch and zero. So maybe if I had known who he was, I would have known more of what to expect.
Mm-hmm.
I was really holding out for like a first time director, uh, maybe making something good, and I honestly think this feels almost like they shit this out. They're like, we're gonna make a horror movie now. Here's a lot of tropes we can fill. You know?
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna make, uh, even if this movie's in your first 5 movies you've ever made, I mean, if I made a movie and it was like that, I'd be like, that's pretty good.
Yeah, really. Earlier, one of you guys, I don't remember who, said his acting was a 4 out of 10. I felt like he wasn't actually like that bad. He's not winning a fucking Oscar off this
Yeah,
movie, but
motherfucker.
yeah, he was pretty okay. I think I enjoyed his acting more than his wife. The woman that played his wife seemed like she was super phoning it in every time
Mm-hmm.
they showed her on screen.
You might
And
think that his is like above a 4 out of 10, but I think everybody else is just so low that his didn't seem that bad.
I,
Do you remember any of the dialogue between anybody? It's all horrible.
oh
Remember when he walks into the bar and the guy's just like, "I'm new to town," and the bartender's like, "Are you gay?" And it's like, "What the hell?
dude,
This is
that was my favorite part. It's like, are you gay? And he's like, what?
right. The all of the dialogue is trash.
Yeah.
So he actually didn't do a bad job with it,
No, he was given.
Yeah.
You have a trash.
but it was
He
all
does.
bad.
He does his best work as a heel.
Yeah. He's a heel trying to be a baby face in this for a little bit though.
Yeah, he's a tweener, dude.
Yeah, definitely a tweener.
Wait till y'all hear the Monkeyscrolls wrestling podcast. It's gonna be me and Joe harping, and then fucking Kiefer just laughing and calling us stupid.
Yeah, that sounds about every episode of it. Yeah. Um, the writing process, because all these fucking Wikipedias always have like, here's how it was produced. The director said at South by Southwest, the story was not entirely fictional. The house was real and its backstory was only slightly embellished. So apparently, this man knows of a house that has coming out of the
Yeah.
walls.
Apparently, this guy comes on his own floor.
Yeah.
I think that maybe it's all fake and he just killed his own dog.
I
I
mean,
don't, in that house, in
Yeah.
that house before filming.
he's not got to get rid of this thing.
He just figured out an elaborate fucking route to like kill his dog. He
This
tells
is-
he tells his wife, he's like, it won't be authentic unless we kill Cooper.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, this is basically a real story, and he's just a drunk who killed his own dog. I don't know how else. This movie is.
Yeah,
It
I
was
think
bad.
I think we can get into our suggestion part of it. I don't. There's not much to talk about with this movie. There's no. There's no like cool scenes.
But there's one cool scene.
What?
The coolest scene's the part where CM Punk peels his fucking face off at the end.
Okay, that was pretty good. They had good practical effects. I did enjoy that they used a lot of. There was maybe it was a budgetary reason, but it was practical effects throughout the whole thing. So
I think
was
practical
nice.
effects look better, to be honest.
Yeah,
They
they
do.
as long as they're done okay. Sometimes they look very bad. They look like putty on a face, but this one looked pretty good for the most part, which was nice.
Oh yes, so yeah, that scene was great where he fucking takes a razor blade and cuts his fucking face down the middle, and then just starts laughing and peeling his face back. That was tight.
He just turns
my-
to a villain at the end, which is
Yeah.
weird.
It was cute when he threw marbles at his baby, and then
It was cute when he threw marbles at his baby.
yeah, it's like that's my girl. That's probably why the wife stayed there. She's like, now daddy's in the walls. Can't fuck nobody. Can't do no drugs. He's stuck in a damn wall.
So we
He's not gonna
record
hurt
this
it.
at 6 a.m. So Caleb might say things that are against his will, actually.
Uh,
That was cute.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
my girl. And
yeah.
you
can we
threw
talk
her a
about
little bit.
Rotten Tomatoes score real quick?
Oh yeah, I'll pull up the fucking Rotten Tomatoes.
Um, I just don't want anybody to get the wrong idea, because it says the number 84, but that's wrong.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah.
There's no, that's wrong. Because
Um.
I guess there's 37 people who rated it. So, I mean, you get 15 people giving it hundreds, it's gonna bring it up. 37 people in the world bothered to chime in on this. So here's three more.
For sure,
Um,
yeah, for sure. The people that rated this 84% are the same ones that scream CM Punk when two other people are wrestling.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I can. It, it,
Yeah,
it wasn't
and
great. It very very it puts a fresh spin on established genre formula is what the critic consensus on Rotten Tomatoes says, and that's not true. It felt very tropey to me, like it's the haunted house stuff. The house is the thing that's haunted, and here's the man who's done some bad things. Like
yeah, it's like a horror movie, but they went for gross instead of scary or
yeah,
like jump scares. They just went like, what if it was only gross? It's
I
like,
wasn't
what?
scared. I wasn't scared at all for the whole movie.
yeah,
Not even a little bit.
yeah. I was more upset that I was spending an hour and a half of my day watching it.
Hmm.
Um, uh, it was a fine movie. Like I said, I didn't think there was any cool scenes. Caleb disagrees because he thinks people dropping marbles is cute. Uh,
That was,
Kiefer, did you think there was any redeeming qualities in this movie?
Honestly, not really. Uh, I mean, the practical effects, like we said earlier, were pretty cool. Where he's ripping his face off. The walls bubbling and kind of bleeding out was kind of cool. Everything else was either bad or just average.
Yeah, yeah. I'd
Uh,
say the practical effects, the effects are really cool for most of the movie. The makeup doesn't look horrendous. Even the fucking like deformed girl, she looked. I mean, you can tell it's a costume because real people don't look like that, but it wasn't atrocious to look at. Even in like full on light.
there was one full body scene that I was kind of like, ugh, because it's a prosthetic on her head,
Yeah.
but you could tell her whole head is under it because the head is way bigger than it should be
Yeah, she had a bit of
on the
alien
body.
head.
Right. It was just huge. It's like, okay, that looks bad. But I mean, everything else looked good. The movie looked fine.
Yeah.
mhm.
It was just the acting, the story,
You come in
uh,
the walls.
everything else was bad. Um, I don't know. Do you guys want to throw a rating on it?
Yeah, I'd
Does,
give the
does it get
whole
one?
movie probably like 3.5 out of 10.
Okay.
There's some redeeming qualities. It didn't bother me to watch, but like I wouldn't recommend anyone watch it unless they were curious and were like, I want to see CM Punk act and this and that. I'd be like, check it out, but I wouldn't be like, dude, that's worth your time.
Yeah,
I agree.
I'd agree. I think I around a 3 to 4.
Yeah,
It's
that's why I went 3.5.
yeah, it's kind of maybe even a 5 out of 10. It's average. I wouldn't. This isn't a movie that it's not like a so bad it's good or like, oh, it's a hidden gem. This is just a bad movie. I thought it wasn't the redeeming factors to me again are the effects looked pretty okay and it was an hour and a half. So that's not saying a whole lot. Um,
Yeah.
it just it was. I watched it. I wouldn't watch it again. I'm not gonna run out. I'm not gonna call my dad and be like, dude, you gotta watch this movie right now. It's so awesome. It's just, eh. If you want to watch it, put it on. If there's no interest in it at all, then you can leave it off the list for all I care.
If you're like me and you like looking at CM Punk on a television screen, put it on. Otherwise, you can probably watch any other thing.
Yeah. What do you think, Kiefer? What do you think about, you want to give a rating to it?
Yeah, I started throwing out real early if I would recommend it or not, probably because I didn't want to talk about it. But it wasn't that bad. It was like it's like a 4 for me, 4 out of 10, because it's not good enough to say average. It's slightly below average,
Mm-hmm.
but I've seen some real terrible 3s that this wasn't as bad as. So
Yeah, I've seen some stinkers.
right, I'd say this is about a 4, and I wouldn't. I'd say for anybody who's curious to watch it, but not because I recommend it. Like if you even have like just a interest as to whether or not it's okay, feel free to watch it, but not because I'm recommending it.
Yeah, don't say I told you.
Right.
Yeah, it's like if you know who CM Punk is and want to see if he can act, I guess watch this. But
Hmm.
like I said, I'm not going out and telling anyone they need to watch this. Um,
If you have teeth in your fucking head, watch this movie.
I mean, yeah, I guess that too. This is for all
Yeah.
you teeth head people. I think that about wraps it up for this review of this movie.
Yeah, I don't have anything else to add. It was
Yeah,
just
there's nothing else dying for me to get out.
yeah, it was an average movie with some really terrible scenes.
Well, for next week, we are still going to be in October. I don't know if we are doing another spooky movie.
I think for the rest of October we should try,
Okay.
Yeah.
Next week is my choice, right?
Yeah, so I was going to ask you, do you have a pick ready, or we got a surprise next week?
I think I'm picking the original Halloween.
I'm
Oh.
down. I'm down. It's
I
been a
think
while.
that's fitting.
Yeah, let's do the original Halloween. I was hoping you'd say we could review the movie UFC 254, but no, I'm just kidding.
Nope.
Review a UFC fight.
So we're talking John Carpenter's original Halloween.
Yes.
And that's fucking fun. You know what? That's going to be a good I know we're going to have a good podcast next week.
Yeah.
I'm gonna enjoy the movie and I'm gonna enjoy talking about it.
Hell yeah.
Alright, cool. So thanks for listening, giving us your time today. If you do enjoy what we're doing, listen to our other podcasts.
Follow us on
Maybe
Twitter.
oh yeah, follow us on Twitter. All the socials, Twitter,
Website.
Facebook, our website monkeyscrolls.com. We're Monkey Scrolls or Scroll Monkey on anything. There's not too many people with our name. I think we might be the only ones. And make sure you like our YouTube page. We'd really appreciate it. Trying to build this up and hopefully it becomes something. And if not, I'm having a good time just talking with my friends.
Same.
Deuces.